I've got an echo on my end, but that's a quick fix. All right. That would have started to annoy me. So yeah, we are live now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Alien Investigations, a channel dedicated to the X-Files Collectible Card Game. I'm your host, Steven, and we are coming at you with another playtest for the upcoming unofficial Season 5 fan-made expansion that we have done several playtests up to this point. It's a 175 card expansion. So we've got a lot of cards that need to be put through the stress test before we can make these available for any diehard fans to order. But before we get started, I want to introduce the two gentlemen with me who are going to be conducting tonight's playtest. Joining me all the way from France at the crack of dawn is Guillaume. Guillaume, good to see you. Rise and shine, good sir. How are we doing?
Good. It's even earlier than usual with we just switched to daylight saving time during the night. So, yeah.
So I'm all the more grateful to you for availing yourself for this matchup. And also want to thank the gentleman just below me here on the screen, John, who's coming at us from Pennsylvania. And for John, it is almost 11:30 p.m. So the exact opposite of your issue, Guillaume, is that John's going to be pulling a late one. He'll be burning the midnight oil to do this playtest, because we know these playtest games typically go for about 3 hours or so, because oftentimes we do need to talk through some of these cards to figure out how can we refine these effects to make them more mechanically sound. So we got a bit of that going on. John, you have done 2 playtests for this expansion prior to this matchup. Tell us, are you bringing a different set of team of agents, a different deck? Tell us, what are you bringing tonight?
Yeah, it's going to be a slightly different team. It'll be kind of a mashup from both. And then mixed in a few more cards from the regular set. I think I'm up to about a dozen of the commercially released cards now. So the bulk is still new cards. I wanted to see how they would interact. I didn't make it as mean as I thought I was going to. I did end up leaving out the ultra rares and most of the promos and stuff. So it's just the usual cast of characters from the commercial release, and then the 5th season cards.
And Guillaume, actually, I've got. I want to ask you the same question because, well, I already know, but for the viewers who are tuning in who may not know, tell us, what are you providing for this matchup? What is your card pool with respect to your team of agents that you chose and your bureau deck?
So this is my 3rd playtest game. So for the first 2, I used the same deck and the same team. So I switched everything for this one. So all Season 5 agents except for 1, which will be from the early set. And for the deck, I tried to fit in as many Season 5 cards as I could. Otherwise, just Premiere and a few Scully set cards and a few Season 4 cards as well.
Very good, because it is interesting to see how these playtest cards are going to interact not just with the commercially released cards, which is obviously very important, but also some of the other expansions that have come prior to this one. As Guillaume just mentioned, 2 of them, the unreleased 22364 Scully expansion, which is available if anyone does want to order a copy of it. The text is canon insofar it was drafted by USPC, or United States Playing Card Company employees before the game was canceled. And in addition to that, we have the unofficial Season 4 expansion. So this one does tie in a little bit more so to some of the cards that are found in this expansion that we're playtesting tonight. So it is very, very interesting to see how well these cards work in tandem with one another. Before we get to getting this game started, I do have a little special bonus reveal that I want to provide for those tuning in. Guillaume and a whole lot of other folks that are part of our creative team have been working on numerous expansions for the X-Files Collectible Card Game. So the Season 5 one is just one of many. We have quite a broad canvas of episodes and seasons that we're trying to bring into this universe of cards. In the course of doing that for these entire seasons of the X-Files, we have been also working on cards. We've also had some side projects going on, namely some more personalized cards that we have incorporated into an ongoing expansion that I've codenamed 100617. It's called. I also like to call it the Delaney expansion. And right now, this is an ongoing expansion. It's currently only 42 cards, so it's not as large as the 175 season-long expansions that we've done up to this point. But it's one that we're currently working on. It doesn't really have an end goal as far as card count or where we're going with it. But what we do is we just create some fan episodes of X-Files, some fan fiction basically, and then translate the stories to card form. And what I have here, courtesy of our dear leader Dax Golding, is a brick containing the first 42 cards from said expansion. And I'm going to go ahead and crack these open so you can see this is the first print run for these. We have had them playtested once. Guillaume and I did a playtest for it a few months ago. And right now, this is the this one has been revised and expanded since then. So as I said, we currently have 42 cards. Some of them have already been play tested. Undoubtedly, we'll do another play test at some point as we get more cards added for it. But yes, and I do have to thank Dax Golding for all of his efforts when it's come to revising these cards and making them look just. You'll see in just a moment. These cards are just magnificent to look at, and he has recently revised the template to include a lovely burnt orange, which I couldn't have asked for a better color for it. It looks fantastic. So what I'm going to do is bring in my table so you guys can see them, and I'll enlarge it so everyone has a chance to get a real good look at them. And Guillaume, actually, you have actually written a few of the cards that are part of this expansion. They are not all they're not my brainchild entirely. They are also yours. And actually, David Peace, who is also joining us from Studio Squim, David has a dozen cards in here that belong to him as well. So we have him to thank for his contributions to it. So let me sort through here. I just cracked it open because our dear leader Dax did include some extras as well, but we want to focus tonight on the ones for the for this expansion specifically. Oh wow, these are fantastic. So I think I've got them all here. I'll set the rest aside for another occasion. So again, we have the face card for it, which features the code name, which again is 100617, and the lovely image gracing that face card is my then 3-year-old daughter, Delaney, who is a character in the first episode of this, and so she's occupying the face card for that. And each of the expansions that we have do have a face card as well. So you'll see these whenever you first open that package you get from Dax Golding. It will feature one of these lovely face cards to denote which expansion you have ordered from him. So the first card is the face card, but after that we have my own agent card, which comes with, like the other agent cards, a series of skills and a game effect and an additional keyword on there. I've got a bio here that gives you a general idea of the events of that fan fiction episode, for which I do play a role in that one. And then my daughter, who you saw on the face card just a moment ago, also has one of her own agent cards, as well as some skills and a pretty powerful game effect. And she does have an extra keyword that we haven't seen on any other agent card. And we also have Mr. David Peace, again, of Studio Squim, who is currently tuning in right now. So, David, this is your agent card. And I did have Dax adds a few extra graphics to some of these card types that are symbolic from some of the episodes that we have thus translated to card form at this point. And Guillaume, you may recognize this gentleman here gracing this other agent card. Obviously that is you. Tell us a little bit about this one, since it is one of yours.
Well, I really like my game effect, which allows me to. Well, there is a token. If I recall correctly, I put an RP token on my card, and that RP token can be used to pay for any RP card during the turn, and it is replenished during the next briefing phase. So,
much like Agent Rich, Nancy Spiller, Mobox, and some of the other agents that have a resource point that can be used for purchasing or for paying for cards. Guillaume has expanded upon that idea. And we also have another agent here named Yumi. And also, we also have, I think that's all the agents covered. So I think now we go to events. Yes. So we have some events. And actually what I'm going to do real quick is separate them, because some of them correspond to a particular episode, and I want to keep it because actually they're sorted by episode. So first thing I want to also let me show this one first. We have not just friends and family represented, but we also have pets, and that is one of my two cats who has been translated to a bluff, and it is one of the bluffs, and the effect is kind of borrowed from some of the other bluffs we've seen about, where the forced discard effects. And Guillaume, I think we have not just one, but two animals gracing this expansion. So we also have your own lovely cat, who I think I saw on your lap just a moment ago.
Yeah, but he left. He missed his moment. But yeah, that's my favorite card of the set.
That is 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬, who has been translated to an equipment card, and it is quite a ferocious one, if I do say so.
Yeah.
And let's see what's next on here. So my daughter, let's see, she's got actually a couple of cards in here. So I want to show a couple more featuring her. She has also been featured on a combat card here. Yep, and in that episode, she basically has like a psychokinetic power, much in the same vein as Carrie, which she is seen using here. And actually, the backdrop that she's photoshopped into is the forest scene in the pilot episode of the X-Files, right in the teaser sequence, actually. And she's also been photoshopped into another card where she is searching for a monster right alongside Agent Mulder. And I believe that image of him is from the episode Mulder and Scully Meet the Were-Monster. And let's see here. Setting aside some of the ones that are specific to certain episodes. Oh, we also have one of my daughter's favorite stuffed animal, Knuffle Bunny, who I actually have to thank Guillaume for helping me with photoshopping this particular image. And the effect for this one actually ties into that very unique keyword that is found on her agent card. And let's see. And Guillaume, we also have a bluff here.
Yeah.
Featuring you again. And that's actually a little bit of my own Photoshop magic there that I took advantage of to help translate this particular bluff.
Yeah, and you came up with the game effect as well.
Oh, yeah. And let's see, I'm setting aside some of David's. We'll get to his shortly. And we have whoops, looks like my camera might have frozen here. Oops. Sorry. Forgive me real quick. The camera is trying to looks like it may have frozen. Let me see if we get it back. Forgive me, ladies and gentlemen. I might just rush through this real quick, but we also have some witnesses here. Picture my wife and some of my relatives as well. All been translated to witnesses. And let's see. We also have some lovely sight cards. And Mulder and Scully do go international in some of these episodes as well. Because actually, sorry, I'm trying to find. All right, so yeah, in 2 of these episodes they go to Norway, and this one they go to France, where they meet up with Guillaume, and Guillaume helps them solve that particular case. Here, David Peace, you'll appreciate the agents do go to Walla Walla, Washington, and you, sir, do like to have a lot of your sites occur in the Pacific Northwest. So we got 4 sites there, and also have a couple of adversaries here. One of them is a living scarecrow, an effect that is somewhat reminiscent of the Private McAlpin zombie adversary. And for fans of horror, they might also recognize the Slender Man, who has graced some more modern lore. And so he has also been translated to a pretty devastating adversary card. And also we have a couple bluff and equipment card in which Mulder and Scully are investigating some strange goings-on in Norway. And this was one that I think most fans will be very excited about, for which I did a Halloween crossover episode in which one of the more notorious slashers in in horror cinema has been translated to an adversary. So we have the very ruthless Michael Myers there, who has a pretty devastating effect in that he does regenerate health in each round of combat, as long as his health is not reduced to 0. And when he is bested in combat, he is shuffled back into the bureau deck instead of the discard pile because, as we know from seeing any of the Halloween movies, he always comes back for the sequel. And we also have another site, which, again, horror fans might recognize from the first Halloween movie. So the agents are investigating string of murders in Haddonfield, Illinois. And again, for these other 2 events here, I did a little bit of photoshopping to put Michael Myers and Mulder and Scully in the same image. So they do have their close encounters with the boogeyman. Okay, and do have the agents also countering some men in black, so who are up to exercising some subterfuge of their own. And I think that wraps up all but the final episode, which I do want to thank Mr. David Peace for his contribution to this. For the last dozen cards are written by him, and his episode is inspired heavily from the Twilight films. And here, as you can see, we have an equipment card and along with a combat card of silver bullets, which you can probably guess what those would be good for going toe-to-toe with. And we have, thanks to David, we have 3 site cards, Forks Timber Museum in Forks, Washington, Forks High School, Forks, Washington, and Cape Flattery Trail also in Washington. As I said earlier, David Peace does like to use a lot of sites set in Washington, and we have 3 of them here. I think Twilight fans will probably get a lot of the references on here. So in addition to that, we have a vampire, adversary, very lovely vampire with much like some of the other vampires that we've seen in some of the other X-Files CCG cards. This one is also immune to long-range damage. And David did something also very clever in that he has come up with 4 Northwest or 4 werewolves, specifically titled Coastal Northwest Werewolf, which any fans of this game will recognize Coastal Northwest as being found on the site card for the pilot episode. And so we have 4 werewolves, each with a different name and an effect that will make it a lot easier to play them in packs. So they can be pretty ruthless in a bunch. And lastly, we have a couple of witness cards that I think David put together courtesy of AI. And so these witnesses are also going to be pretty handy in investigation. And so that, as of this point, are the first 42 cards for the expansion. And there are plans to make more of them as we come up with some more fan fiction episodes. But as I said, it's an ongoing one. And I wanted to share that first print run of what we've had so far. So I'll be reviewing them, and then I'll send some changes to Dax. But of course, Guillaume, now I've got some print cards in hand, maybe we can get ourselves another playtest going in the near future. Once we wrap up the playtesting for this game that once we wrap up the playtesting for Season 5, that is, because we do want to get that one released as soon as possible. But now, gentlemen, now that I've done that, sorry, trying to bring my camera back in here. Excuse me. So now we got that little bit of show and tell out of the way. I'm now going to be turning it over to you guys so you guys can get your playtest game going. So I'm going to send myself backstage, and I'll let you guys get your game going, and you can call upon me if you have any questions regarding my intent or my thought process behind any of the cards. So feel free to introduce your agents to the audiences that are tuning in. So we got some really exciting characters translated to agent form. I think you guys will really get a kick out of some of the agent cards that we've got planned for this expansion. So, gentlemen, you got your X-Files all picked out? Yes?
Yes.
Excellent. So I'll head backstage, and just let me know if you have any questions that I can clear up for you. And I want to thank you both again for availing yourselves for this playtest.
Reports difficulty sleeping. And she reports it since she worked night shift for so long.
All right. So you want to introduce your agents, John?
Basis.
Do you hear any background talking?
Just a few seconds ago, but now it's muted.
My wife is doing a little dictation in the background.
Okay, but that's fine.
So hopefully it won't pick up much of that.
No, that's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay, the agents are Richard Ringo Langley, Melvin Frohike, Agent Carla Stonecipher, and Agent Michael Kingsley.
Okay.
On my playback.
All right. So, and mine. Well, we actually have 2 of the same agents. So my agents are Frohike, Langley, Detective John Kresge, Holly Patton, and the last one is Brian Fuller from the Scully set, because I needed a 1 RP agent. Okay. All right. So how do you want to decide who goes first?
Okay.
Right. So how do you want to decide who goes first?
It's a bit of a delay. I'm not sure what this causing lag, but we'll go with it. Did you want to flip a coin to go first, or would you just like to go first?
Well, I don't have a coin, so if you have one, you can flip it. And
You prefer heads or tails?
heads.
Came up heads.
Okay, good. Mind if I draw my cards first before I decide who I want to start heads?
Not
Okay. Okay, well, I'll start as the investigating player then.
Not using platform one in the house. Not making sure that work, not damaging the trend. She would benefit.
unfortunately, I don't have any audio.
Oh, okay. So you cannot hear me?
Aren't we
Oh.
all?
I hear you.
And I have to say I'm having difficulties hearing you as well because the sound keeps cutting off. So maybe I hear one word out of 3 or 4 words. So always just let me know whenever the sound comes back. And Steven, if you want to come in while we wait for John to return.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, we've been, I think, we've been getting hit with technical difficulties both on my end as well as John's. So, so really, I'll just talk a little bit about the expansion. As I said earlier, we got 175 cards for this one that is representative of the 5th season of the X-Files. Guillaume is currently working on expansions for season 6 as well as season 7 and 8, each of which will be 175 cards per season, and there are going to be a few promos included in there as well. We're looking at about 3-4 usually going to be about 4 promos,
4
and then
promos and 4 promos and 1 face card.
4 promos plus 1 face card to bring a grand total of 180, which makes for a decent number when we're placing our order through the company that prints them out, which is more on Dax's end of things. So as I said, yeah, we got a lot of cards to play test. So we're going to be doing about a dozen, maybe close to 2 dozen, because we just want to make sure that that each card has a chance to get put to the test before we make these available for people to order, because we want to not have to deal with reprints or discover effects afterwards that may not have been as mechanically sound as we'd hoped. So hence why these playtests are important in this stage of things. So we want to make sure that everything is as mechanically sound as possible before we let DAX accept orders from them, and which DAX will be the one that anyone reaching out to anyone wanting a set will reach out to DAX. And currently, if you do want to get your hands on some of the previously released ones, you can message him. He's part of our Facebook group as well as our Discord community. Links for both of them are in the description below. And you can ask him or make inquiries about the previously mentioned Scully set and the unofficial Fanmade Season 4 expansion, both of which are currently available for order at this point. He was doing a lot of batch orders quite recently, so I'm sure he'd be happy to take any more orders if anyone is interested. John, how are we doing? Did you manage to get your Wi-Fi issues resolved? Can we hear you?
I think it was audio, but there was a significant lag. Like I would move, and then like 5 seconds later, or a couple seconds later, my hands would move on the screen. I think that's caught up now.
Yeah, you sound great. Yeah, it sounds like there's no lag at this point. So I'll send myself backstage again and let you guys get started.
I managed to keep speakers unmuted, which I must have done inadvertently. So now I should be able to hear you again.
Yeah, good. That's always good.
I assume you were going first, I think, when we left off.
Yeah.
I lost communication.
Yeah, so I chose to start as the investigating player. I did not draw my free card yet, so I'm going to do that now. And I'm going to generate my res, which is 6, puts me at 11. And I'm going to purchase 2 cards and passing it to you to sell and buy.
Ironically enough, I have nothing to sell or buy at this time.
All right. Okay. So no healing, no requisition. I'm going to deploy everyone to the field. And for case assignment, I'm going to play 2 sites. I'm going to play Coastal Northwest Oregon. I'm going to pay 2 for it. It's Alien Investigation 4+ and Affiliation. And I'm also going to play Fell Points Park. It's Computer or Subterfuge, Method or Result, and it costs 1. So the first one, Alien Investigation and Affiliation, and the second one, Computer, Subterfuge, Method or Result.
And are you more likely to go to the first one or the second one?
Well, hopefully both.
I'll put a bluff on number 1.
On the Northwest Oregon, okay. So I'm going to divide my agents. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to send Kresge and Langley to Oregon, and the other 3 are going to go to Baltimore. Okay, let's start the investigation at Baltimore. It's computer or subterfuge. I'm going to use to choose a computer. It's computer 5+, and I have 5, 3 with Frohike and 2 with Holly Patton.
Okay. And that's basically all you need there, isn't it?
Yes, barely making it, but that's enough for now.
Yeah, I have nothing to play on this turn,
All right.
or at least on this site.
Okay, so I'm going to ask method or result. Is your method threats?
Threat?
Yes.
Let's double check. It is not.
Okay. All right, so that one is discarded. And for the second investigation, alien investigation for plus and affiliation, I have just 4 alien investigations. So again, just barely making it. So what's the bluff?
Okay. Our good old friend, Laser Barrier. Play to prevent one agent assigned from contributing their skill check.
Okay.
And you said you're barely making skill checks to investigate the site?
Yes. So are you paying for the bluff?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and prevent one of those guys. I'm going to pay for that. Pay my 1.
All right. So I'm going to remove Langley's token to negate that bluff.
Probably a wise choice.
Yeah. Are there any other cards that you'd like to play?
No, I had a strange hand, so I have nothing else to do.
All right. So this one is an affiliation question. Is your affiliation primordial?
It is not.
Okay.
Oh, you're off to a grand start.
Well,
Might get 2 games in.
yeah, maybe, yeah. Okay. So this one goes to the Discord pile as well. And for debriefing, I have 8 cards, so I need to discard something. Okay, well, I'll just discard Alien Stealth Technology. And I now have 7 cards.
And I have 6.
All right, your turn then.
Draw a card. Collect some revenue. Let's see. 2, 4, 6. No. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because these 2 are together, she gets her bonus. That's let me read that.
Yes, that's a cool effect.
Okay. So adding 7. And over to you.
Well, I have to sell a call for help from the Scully set, which I hate to do, but I need the conspiracy points, so I'm selling a call for help for 4, puts me at 9, and let's see, I'm going to purchase 2 cards and passing it to you.
Over to me, you said?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Let's see. I'm going to play this resource event card called Extra Crunchy Evidence for 2. Attach this card to an agent along with 1 resource point. This may be used to pay for any keyword evidence collection cards. If you use this resource point, replace it during your briefing phase. And Extra Crunchy Evidence we'll put on Agent Stone's are here.
I really love those expenditure cards. They're really useful.
And there's the 2 for that. And then she gets 1. The other one we're going to play with is the Hack into Government Agencies, which basically allows me to search my deck for an expenditure card for one of my computer guys. It's going to cost me 3.
But then the other card is free, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's helpful.
I thought I had at least 2 in here. Unless that one got called at the last minute to make room for some of these others. It could have happened.
It's getting quite difficult to not to have a deck that is too big, but also to want to include all of the cards that you want to include, especially with the season 5 cards, because
I found the other one.
perfect.
It's Welcome to Hackland, one of my computer guys, which essentially allows me to get computer cards at a discount or contribute 1 resource point to the purchase of the computer keyword card.
Yeah, I have it in my deck somewhere. I hope it comes up.
Yeah. So we'll get those to play early.
Yeah.
I'm shuffled. Do you want me to cut it or anything?
No, just that's
Yeah,
fine.
I don't think it's critical at the moment. And I'll go ahead and throw that one on to Prohick.
All right.
And he also puts a token on that. Speaking of tokens, I should probably token my guys up here. Okay. don't think I have to draw any cards and all that. Okay, never mind.
Well, if you want to do that now,
It's
you can,
okay.
if you forgot
Just
to.
move ahead.
Okay.
But yeah, that was a big mistake. All right. Resource or sites. Well, we'll put out a these guys are good. Are these guys good sites or just for you have a card marked evidence collection, but not evidence. Interesting. Well, make the computer guy work for sure. We'll put a computer card out there. It's going to cost me 2. One from the Welcome to Hackland and one from my pool. And that is Virgil and Canto's apartment, Cleveland, Ohio. Computer 4+, and it's an affiliation question.
All right.
And the other one, which was a bit of a mystery, it does not say evidence, it says evidence collection. So I may not be able to use this one. Let me see here. Nope, it's still good. All right. So I'll use 1 from here to pay for that. And 1 from my pool. Actually, only needs 1. I'm losing my mind. Sorry. And use that one. I'll put 1 back in my pool. It's a 1 coster. Okay. And that is Max Fennick's trailer, Barnes Corners, New York. And it allows me to ask evidence collection and observation. Well, it requires evidence collection or observation. It allows me to ask affiliation or motive question. Yeah.
All right. So computer evidence. I'm going to place 1 bluff on Virgil and Canto's apartment. And you know what, let's put down another bluff as well. I'm going to put another one, a second bluff. Well, 1 bluff on each. So this one here with the token is for Virgil and Canto.
Okay. Just going to take a quick look at my guys here and see if I can figure out which numbers. All right, this one's a 5+. In order to get that, I have to send 3 there and 1 the other way. All right, we'll do that. We'll send Langley on his own to Virgil's apartment, and the other 3 will go to the trailer.
All right.
And one is computer, and the other is evidence collection.
Right. So which
And we'll
side
go
do you want?
for solve the apartment first. Off
Okay.
number one.
Right. So bluff number one is, hold on. It's nasty surprise.
And what does that one do for me?
I pay 2 to add 5 tokens to my conspiracy pool. So I'm going to pay the 2, and then you can decide if you want to negate it or not.
I think I'll let that happen. I might
Alright.
need my Langley token for something else.
All right, so I'm adding 5 to my pool, so that puts me at 10. And nasty surprise is discarded. And your yeah, you can go ahead and ask your question.
Okay. Is your affiliation government?
I know it's not.
Thank you. Number 2. I have evidence collection of 6, I believe, and needed 5.
All right, so
And which your bluff is first.
the bluff is Courage in a Bottle from season 5. Decrease all of the skill levels on one agent by 2 for this turn.
Ooh. That one I'll use my token for.
So, well, it costs, well, okay, it costs 4, so 3 since it was face down, 2, 3. So you want to use Langley's token on it?
Yes.
Okay. So that one is gone. Okay.
You can use a, let's see, affiliation or mode of adversary.
Yeah, no, no good. All right, so you can ask your question. At least I got rid of Langley's token.
Yes, you did.
So that's, yeah, that's something.
But the Langley token saved the investigation, so I feel like it is okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Is your affiliation evolutionary?
Yes, it is.
Hot dog.
Oh. Yes.
I have 3 cards left, but I'm going to take the opportunity to play a mulligan before the end of my turn. So I'm going to throw away these 3 cards and play the mulligan for 3 and draw 7 new cards.
All right. and I have 6 cards in my hand.
I'll feel free to start.
All right, so ready to pass it on to me?
I'm sorry?
Ready to start my turn?
Yes, please go ahead.
So I'm drawing my free card. I'm going to generate my res, which is still 6. Puts me at 12. And I'm going to purchase 2 cards, I think, or 3 cards. No, let's do 2 cards. And passing it back to you to sell and buy.
Okay. I'm going to sell my kill switch for 4 conspiracy points.
Okay.
And I'm going to buy two more cards.
All right, so no healing, no requisition. Everyone stays in the field, and I'm bringing the team back together. And I'm going to play one site. We're going to the positron emission tomography lab in Allentown, Pennsylvania. It costs 1. It's computer or medical, affiliation or result.
All right, that's only about an hour from here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, through Pennsylvania, yeah.
And just refresh my brain again. It was just the one site?
Yes, just one site, yeah.
And it's medical
or computer.
Or computer.
Okay. Affiliation and result.
Okay. Cool. AC, I got some plus for you.
Okay.
Two bluffs from that one.
Okay. Well, I'm sending everyone to investigate. So I'm going to use computer. It's computer 5+, and I currently have, I think, I have 11 computer.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Not too worried about demerits on that one. Let's take a look at our bluffs.
Yes.
Do you have a preference to which one resolves?
No, just any order you want.
Okay. I don't even know which one. Yeah, the first one is a freebie for me. It only costs 1. If no agents at this site have a keyword weapon card equipped, you may take 3 resource points from your opponent's resource pool and add them to your conspiracy pool.
Well, they don't have any attached cards, so yeah. So you're taking 3 from my pool, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. So that puts me down to 6.
3 from the RP and 3 to my CP. There we go. And the next one, attach this is a mummified corpse.
Okay.
Sorry. It's kind of a cool card. I should have put a couple in here. Attach this card to an agent at the site. While the agent is in the field, the owning player may only use their resource pool to pay for cards. This card is removed next time your opponent identifies one of your X-Files characteristics, which could happen momentarily. So,
yeah, actually, I had a question about that card, which I wrote that card down because I wanted to ask.
it is an interesting thing.
Yeah,
Yep.
so that means that, let's say I don't identify one of John's characteristic this turn. So Mummify Corpse will stay attached to one of my agents. So if the agent is in the field during my turn as a conspiracy player, that means that I can only use my resource pool during my turn as a conspiracy player. Like, so while the agent is in the field, the owning player may only use their resource pool or their conspiracy pool. Which one is it?
Resource pool.
Okay.
Resource pool. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. Oh yeah. So that. Okay. Yeah. Now I remember what that does. So that actually means that if I had a keyword expenditure card attached, I wouldn't be able to use it. Okay.
Correct. Yes, that's what it's
Okay.
referring to. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't want to be hyper specific about the expenditure cards because we also, for one thing, we have agents in the Premier Edition that have that effect, obviously, and who knows whatever else is coming down the line in upcoming expansions. So I was trying to keep it the language a bit vague, but not to specifically call out the expenditure cards. Obviously, they are a big portion. They occupy a big portion of this expansion. There's 11 of them in this set. So obviously, and John, you have 2 of them currently attached to agents on your team. So they are a big portion of it. So as of this point, Guillaume, you don't have any agents that have that built-in effect on your team, nor do you have any agents with the keyword expenditure card attached at the moment. So as of this moment in time, John can attach it to one of your agents, and if you should decide you want to attach an expenditure card to that agent, at that time you wouldn't be able to use it. Should you decide you want to go that route.
Yeah. Well, John,
yeah.
John,
Yeah, it's going to go on the Langley.
Okay. Oh.
I actually had
John, because I did not include the card in my deck.
And my broad interpretation was that as long as this is in play, it effectively prevents you from expending resource points on anything but buying cards. Because if you read it literally, it has this global effect when a successful question is asked, and which would mean that up until that point, Guillaume is handicapped and can only use his resource points to buy cards and not actually to play cards. So I thought it was a magnificent card for the cost.
Oh, right. Yeah. And I actually, now that you mentioned, Stephen, I remember we talked about that card, but when I looked at it last night building my deck, I was not sure what it did, so I didn't include it tonight, but I did write it down to ask you because I forgot.
So if you read it literally, great. From now until he gets a successful question in, he's locked.
Oh, so are we talking? So sorry, John. Could you reiterate? Are you saying that it would prevent the conspiracy pool from being used in the opposed? Is that sorry? I was not. Sorry. I think I lost a word or two in there.
All right. The owning player, meaning the attaches card to an agent at the site, while the agent is in the field, the owning player, meaning the person that the card's attached to, they only use their resource pool to pay for cards. This card is removed each time your opponent identify one of your X-Files characteristics.
Mm-hmm.
So it gives you the impression that it handicaps the player who is one of their agents until they are successfully making an investigation again by limiting their expenditures with the resource to just buying cards.
Yeah, sorry, I think I'm missing a couple words.
I think maybe,
I think it's kind of cutting out. Go ahead.
Sorry about
Go ahead, Guillaume.
that.
I think what John is saying is maybe the wording suggests that you can only either pay to draw cards or pay to play cards, but that you cannot do both. Is that correct, John? Like you can only use your resource pool to actually play cards, but you cannot use it to draw cards. Is that what the wording suggests?
Yes.
Oh, to draw cards?
Yes, it's to only be used to pay for cards.
Okay.
Pay rather than play.
Okay, so all right, yeah. So I think I get what you're saying with regards to drawing cards, but you wouldn't use the resource pool to draw cards, though. As far as like,
cards, if you want to buy cards,
yeah, like to play them, right? But we're talking about using it like during you're referring to the briefing phase in which we're using it to buy cards.
right? You can buying the cards is fine. You just can't spend your resource points to play them the way it's written.
Well, use the resource pool to pay for them.
Yeah, John, I see what you mean, but I do think that whether you're drawing the card or playing the card, you're paying for them. So I think paying for them includes both drawing the card and actually playing the.
Right, you pay them, you draw them, you put them in your hand, but then you can't spend money to play them. The way this is written. Because the way this is written, the only thing you can do with your resource points is pay for cards, meaning buying the cards.
So give me one example. If you could give me like one example where it like other than like the agents with a built-in game effect for paying for them, like Agent Rich or the expenditure cards. What would be another example that this would by that interpretation? What would it? Give me another example that would that would limit. I'm trying to imagine one right now.
I think I understand now what your intent was with it. If I stare at it a little bit longer, you can only use your resource pool to pay for cards.
Which is the wording that is.
I was thinking buy cards, which is not the same.
Well,
because pay and buy may have a similar meaning, but not quite.
But now, something else is actually occurring to me. So it's even though it's affecting one agent on the team, but it's also it is at the same time though.
Yeah, it's really weird because it's playing on an agent, but it has a global effect because it says the only player is affected.
That's right. And so now that's what I'm considering. Yeah, but now we're bringing it to attention. I am noticing that. Now, Guillaume, give me your thoughts on the possibility of this card. It is as the game effect says, it's attached to an agent, right? So if we're to limit it to, like, let's say the agent has a expenditure card attached to them, or the agent has a built-in effect for paying for cards like Agent Rich or Nancy Spiller. would narrowing the card to only affect that one agent's ability, would that make the card a little too limiting and undesirable? What do you think?
Well,
And also a bit too situational, because not everyone includes the agents with that effect, or decides to use the expenditure cards. I don't know. What are you thinking?
I mean, if I know that we are using season 5 cards, I'm going to at least include one of those expenditure cards, because it's so useful. So if your opponent, if both players agree to include season 5 cards, I would assume my opponent would have one of those expenditure cards. And I think you and I, even in games where we only play commercially released cards, we usually try to have at least one of those agents, like Nancy's Peter or Agent Reach, to pay for cards. So I think for the cost of 2, even if it's situational, it's a useful card to have. I think maybe we could, I would say limit it to only one agent, because otherwise maybe for 2 CP it's just too detrimental for the investigating player. So limiting it to one agent is fine. Maybe I think we should try to come up maybe with a different wording, because I do agree that we need to keep it general to include every situation. But even if we did discuss the card a few weeks ago, like last night, I could not remember, and taking it as it was written to me did not make sense. So I think we could try to find something else, a different wording. And if we are worried about the card being too situational, maybe we could increase the cost to 3 CP or 4, and maybe come up with an alternative effect. But that depends on how concise the first part of the game effect is, because we need to have room for the card. But maybe that would say, okay, situational if there is an expenditure card on agent like Nancy's Peter, and if not, then maybe do a more general alternate effect. That way the card is useful in both situations and you're more inclined to use it.
Yeah, because obviously with the Season 5 expansion, including those keyword expenditure cards, and again, there are 11 of them in this set. So the idea for this card was to sort of serve as a detriment to that, along with, again, those premier agents with that built-in effect already. That was the idea for this card. So now, yeah, for one thing, we have a question of wording, but at the same time, though, mechanically is now what is occurring to me. And again, thank you, John, for and Guillaume, both of you, because both of you guys had questions regarding this. Because now what I'm also seeing is mechanically, I'm questioning the fact that this card is attached to one agent, but at the same time, as John said, it has a global, more widespread effect that's affecting all the agents on the team. So if you have multiple agents that have that built-in resource point effect, or if you have multiple agents with the expenditure cards, it's affecting all of them, even though it is only attached to one. So now that I'm
on the card, not only that, the duration is unlocked. It stays in place could stay in place for turns and turns and turns.
Much like a sinus cavity implant. But Guillaume, sorry, what were you about to say?
Yeah, but it does say on the card that while the agent is in the field, so you do have the option of keeping the agent in the bureau to allow other agents to use their card. But that is still detrimental. Like, for instance, if John put it on Langley, my team without Langley, it considerably weakens my whole team. So, and maybe this is just an oversight on my part, but my card does not have the resource keyword. So is that
either? So that's not an oversight. The science cat didn't have that keyword though. So, and again, this was the card was partly modeled after the idea was spawned from the sinus cavity implant, which didn't have that keyword. But
I think maybe it should have the resource keyword.
Yeah, we can look at including that in there. There is room in the keyword section for it. First things first, though, deciding a path for it is going to be the first thing. The easiest route to go would be to say that it's limited to just one particular agent with that effect. That's the more straightforward route to go. However, if that's the case, I'd be inclined to make this that cost just be one, because just like sinus cavity implant only costs one, and it reduces what the agent's res to from like takes one away from the agent's res. Yeah. I think that's pretty much on par with what that effect would do here. So if I go
actually sinus cavity implant is even more powerful because
mm-hmm.
Depending on the cards you're going to play, you might not get a benefit from the expenditure keyword during every turn.
Oh yeah, sure. It's slightly more power, but I would say it's pretty close. It's fairly on par. So I wouldn't I guess what I'm saying is I wouldn't make this card more expensive.
Yeah, I agree.
Than cavity implant if I were going that route. But let's say if I decide to go the straightforward route and just have it affect just the agent to whom it's attached, which does make sense. But at the same time, I do question: is that really a worthwhile effort? I do want to have a card in here that serves as a detriment to the expenditure cards as well as the other agents with that effect. But I think I might. Yeah, there's going to be some rewording of the language, and I'll get back to you guys in the Discord community once I've thought a little bit more about it. But I'm going to make a note of it now. For the time being though, let's John, did you decide, do you want to play the card or
it was played on Langley.
It was played on Langley. Okay. Yeah. So we'll treat it at the tech as it's written. It has we'll just play it out as it currently is. Although at this point it's kind of a moot point because Guillaume doesn't have any agents with an expenditure. But if he does decide to put one on an agent, he won't be able to use it until this one's resolved. We're gonna just use it as it is.
In theory, then he could pull Langley back to the bureau, and then it would go away.
Yes.
The other question I would have is, if you limit to the agent, then you have to say, well, do agents have resource pools? And that opens up a whole nother thing. So I think the wording would have to be worked on to really kind of focus on what your intent was with the card.
Yeah.
Otherwise, people like me who are prone to be some literal misinterpretations will run away with it.
Yeah, and we don't want it to go too far off what I was intending for it. So
this is a Death Star.
It is really a cool image too, by the way. Yes, I'll think more about it. Guillaume, I'll usually run it by you, and we'll probably do a bit of a back and forth dialogue, and then we'll let everyone else know what we're thinking, and we can try that out in a future playtest when this card is used, just to make sure that the alternate effect works. It's very interesting when you think like when you come up with these cards and it sounds great in your mind, right? You're like, okay, you don't see the pitfalls, and it's just not until you're playing it in the course of the game, and of course with people who haven't seen them and reviewed them over and over again like I have, and of course like Guillaume has to a certain extent as well. It's that fresh set of eyes that those like John are bringing into it that really make you realize, oh wow, we how did we miss that? And that's
even if you roll back to things like universal time laws, you have a specific target with a global effect, and that just creates all kinds of problems or potential for misinterpretations.
Yeah, and we don't want. That's certainly not what we want to do with the season 5 expansion and any of the cards within that. So, all right. So, like I said, we'll table the discussion for this one because it's going to entail a little bit more brainstorming until I come up with an alternate one. But there will be significant revisions to this one. So I'll head back, and you guys good to go for this point?
Yes.
All right, cool. Thanks so very much. This has been very fruitful.
So I'll stick this someplace, and you can remember it's on your Langley.
Well, I actually put a token on Langley, but I'm going to pull a copy of my Mummified Corpse.
Okay. I'll just discard mine then.
There it is. All right, so there you go.
And then I think you probably have a question for me.
Yeah, so it's.
I don't think I have any other obstacles to throw in your path.
Oh, that's good for me. So it's affiliation or result. Is your affiliation evolutionary?
It is not.
Okay. So mummified corpse stays in play. Okay, so for so this side goes to the discard pile, and for debriefing, I have 8 cards in my hand, so I need to discard something. I wanted to keep it, but I'm going to sell latent image from the Scully set. And I now have 7 cards.
I am at 6.
All right, so I'm passing it to you.
Okay, I will draw my card, replenish my tokens on my expenditure cards. Unfortunately, I can't renew language. Let's see here. 2, 3, 4. And collect my resources, which we've established for a total of 7. One of the things I like about the new set is resource points are more plentiful.
Yeah, 7 resources is quite a lot.
I like it.
Yeah.
Let me just make sure I do the math right on the 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, okay. And what was I going to do here? Now, normally it goes back to you before I buy businesses and stuff, right?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Normally it would go back to you before I buy witnesses or that sort of thing, right? Or is still the phase, so it could happen right now too?
Yeah, I think if there are some cards that you want to play immediately, you can.
Okay. So you see what's coming. I have Dr. Zuckerman who will go to the hospital. It's going to cost me 4. That's a big expenditure. I think I'll hang on to this for now. Thanks.
All right, so I'm going to sell 3 cards. I'm going to sell the Alien Stiletto for 5, the Shotgun for 6, and the Glock 19 for 4. So even though I shuffled my deck, like I don't know how many times, somehow all of the cards came back together. So
did you do it to like the Magic 7 times for like the Pharaoh shuffle or something?
When I build my deck, like I pull, I make I have all of the card suits together, and then I actually each card I try to put them in different places of the table, so they are separated once, and then I shuffle them together. Like I don't know, like 10 times. So it always amazes me how they can somehow, like sometimes you have like 3 sites in a row or three equipment in a row. But yeah, in this case it's useful because I get conspiracy points, but during my previous turn I only had like 1 site, and it was like, so pros and cons. So anyway, that's 15 points.
Awesome.
And I'm going to buy 5 cards. And back to you.
Okay. Gonna play Braddock Heights, Maryland for 2. And that one's bureaucracy for prerequisite 4. And the question I get to ask is a motive question. And the other one we're going to play is Olympic Forest, Washington, evidence collection 4. And I get to ask a result question. It's going to cost me 1 token and 1 RP.
No bluffs.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. All right. How do we want to do this one? All right, we'll have evidence collection guys go to the evidence collection site, and the bureaucracy guys to go to the bureaucracy site. And they have the bare minimums at present to make their investigations successful.
All right, so which site do you want to investigate first?
We'll do the Olympic National Forest here, which is a motive, no, a result question.
Well, you can ask your question for that site.
Okay. Well, we'll go with everybody's favorite. Is your result death?
No, it's not.
Nay. And there are bureau guys. They actually have a bureau bureaucracy skill level of 5. So they're actually 1 over. I'm sorry, I misled you.
No, that's me. I don't know why I thought the investigation was it was the one with Stone Cipher and Kinsley. That's my fault.
That one's a motive question. I forgot that our Kinsley here has the bureaucracy of 3. So 2.
Yeah, well, okay, well, the cards that I wanted to play were on the first one, so yeah, my mistake. So you're free to ask your question.
Okay. Motive. Oh boy, there's 4 possibilities and 4 to choose from. I guess I corrected on another X file. is your mode of security?
No, it's not.
Thank you. I am down to 4 cards before the end of my turn. Or is it your turn? No, it's my turn. I'm going to play a beckoning offer, which I can attach to one of my agents and turn them into a conspiracy point generator or a resource. Yeah, they can generate conspiracy instead of resource.
Okay, so you are using the
I'm using the
second
second part of this ability.
Okay.
Rather than blocking you from stealing my huge pile of tokens, I'm going to use it to generate CP on my
Okay.
next turn. Well, when I can generate again.
Yeah, you get to choose where the resource go.
Yeah. And I'll stick it on my hand, I guess. He doesn't have it yet. Oh no, this guy, Kinsley. Kinsley. He'll be the potential bad guy. And down to 3. And it's your turn. That costs me 2.
I have 9 cards since I did not play the one that I wanted to play. So I'm going to discard Bridge of Sighs and Lucy Gasden. And I now have 7 cards. Alright, so I'm going to draw my free card. I'm going to generate my res, which is still 6, puts me at 12. And let's see, I'm going to buy 1 card or 2 cards. Well, let's do 2 cards and pass it back to you.
Okay, I do not have any cards I want to sell. I am going to buy 4. Make it 5. So 5 is 5 are going away. I think that's what. Well, 4. Sorry.
No,
I might have
fine.
to spend something on the cards I draw. 2, 3, 4. All right, here we go.
Okay, so one of the cards I drew was hard evidence, so I'm going to play it now. I'm going to pay 2 to add 5. That's okay. That's fine. Okay.
Cool.
Puts me at 13. So no healing, no requisition. Everyone stays in the field, and we're going to go to the Hotel James Monroe in Boston. It's computer 4+ and method question. I'm going to pay 2 for the site. So computer and method.
Okay. I was just trying to read the card. I'm not familiar with that
It's a season 4 site.
one. Okay. And it's just the one site that you're playing?
Yeah, just one site, yes.
Okay. Hmm. All right. 2 blocks.
All right, everyone's going to the site. It's a computer for plus, and I have 11 computer. So let's see the bluffs.
The first one is card troubles. So you're going to have to narrow yourself down to 2. I will pay for it.
All right, so I can only send 2 agents to the site, correct?
Yes. Play on a team of 3 or more, move to the same site. May only send 2 agents, your choice. Any extra agents remain in the team, but may not contribute their skills to any checks in turn.
Okay, I'm going to send Langley and 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 to the site. So I now have computer 7.
The other bluff, I don't think this is going to work for you. Those guys both have some subterfuge, right?
Yes.
Yeah. This one, if I would have spent the money, it's called security checkpoint. And if they did not have subterfuge, you would have been blocked from investigating that site. Or at least one. So that one was discarded. And card troubles is also discarded. And you are free to go.
So it's a method question. Is your method subterfuge?
It is not.
Okay, well, I cannot catch a break tonight.
I am down to 5 cards.
All right, so this site is discarded, and I have okay. I'm going to discard the artificial intelligent dung-eating robotic probes from the Scully set, and I have 7 cards. So your turn.
I'm getting a recording error on this end. Not sure what happened there. Like there was an interruption in the network connection. So let me try fixing that real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Just let me know when you're ready to start your turn. That's fine.
I have to relaunch the.
Okay.
Not getting the red on my screen. I think we're okay again. Just the weird lag.
Hmm. Yeah, you're lagging, and then you went. It all sped up, and I think now we're caught up in real time.
Okay. Draw my freebie.
So I'm going to play Blight immediately since you started your turn.
Okay. And just remind me of all the fun I can have with that one.
Yeah, so I'm paying 3 for it. Play this card at the start of your opponent's briefing phase. Opposing agents in the field section of the table generate no res this turn.
Awesome.
So I've had this card in my hand since the beginning, and I always forgot to play it. So I was like, this time I'm determined not to forget.
Well, I'm glad you forgot for a few turns because I'm down to one.
Yeah, and actually, yeah, that was a
So this is
good
actually
time for me to play.
perfect time to play it, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, that stinks. I think I still get to generate tokens for my guys here.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to elect not to buy any cards.
Wise choice, yeah.
I'm going to save my one token and my one guy here for a site. See what happens. Leave myself all naked and exposed.
I'm going to.
Or you're.
I'm going to sell the Erlenmeyer flask for 4. Puts me at 18, and I'm going to purchase 3 cards. And back to you.
All right, looks like we're off to Loudoun County, Virginia. It's a computer 4+, and I'll get to ask you a motive question. I will use my token here from the Welcome to Hackland, along with my one lonely resource point to pay for it.
Okay, so I have one. Yeah, I have one bluff for that site.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take chances. They're all going there, and they're going to use the computer skills, which
Okay.
they have plenty of.
Yeah.
So,
So the bluff here is Skyland Massacre. It costs 6, but I'm going to pay 5 for it. Puts me down to 10. Agents at this site with an alien observation or agents at this site with an alien investigation or observation skill are afflicted with the keyword abductee and receive 2 points of damage. In addition, alien adversaries may ignore activator requirements to attack agents at this site. Healing cards will remove the afflicted keyword.
help! All right, so 2 points of damage on Langley and on 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬.
Yes.
And I don't think the other guys are very observant.
Yeah, no, Stone Cipher and Kingsley have no observation and no alien investigation, so they are fine. And so, yeah, only Langley and 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 have the 2 points of damage, and they are afflicted with the keyword abductee.
I'm just looking something up just for my own curiosity.
Yeah.
I wanted to check on the blight because the card says agents generate no res this turn. I just wanted to make sure it didn't say no resource points versus conspiracy points, but it just says res. So I couldn't have used my one guy to generate conspiracy points instead of,
Yeah, no.
which I couldn't do anyway, but just so I just wanted to make sure.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, bad things are going to happen. I still have enough resources to investigate this site as far as I can tell.
So I'm now going to play the Rebels Strike. This card is free if played on a keyword abductee card, which Langley and 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 now have that keyword. Damage from close range combat may be split among all opponents. My choice. So that covers the keyword alien, creature, and master.
Okay, let's see if I got it in here. Those are its only keywords?
Yes, adversary, alien, creature, and master.
Okay. I have no special combat cards to play.
All right, so for long range, the Rebels Strike have no long range, so you get to deal your 7 long range, if I did that up correctly.
Yes.
All right, so they have a health of 8, so they have just 1 health remaining, and moving, yeah, and moving to the close range combat, they deal 6 they deal 6 damage, and they can split that damage. So they are going to inflict. Let's see. And they're going to inflict 2 damage to 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬. And they are going to inflict 4 damage to Stone Cipher.
So a total of 6, 2 more to 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬, and 4 to Stone Cipher.
Yes.
So they'll both be taken out.
Yes.
Okay. And they're all they'll finish off these guys before they go, I guess.
Yes, and the rebel strikes are gone.
Do they keep their attached cards? Or do they,
Yes, yes, they are just sent to the hospital, but the attached cards remain in play.
and our friend Ricky can't play his event gating token from the hospital.
So what was that? What did you say?
Our friend Rohiki would not be able to play. He can't perform any actions in the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you still have 4 computers though, with
I
just
think
with
so.
Yeah, so I
check.
have one.
The small.
Yeah, so
I
I have one. I have one last card to play.
Okay.
So
ahead. Right. Go
I'm going to play a Scully set card. I'm going to play Aliens Monitor the Project for 3. Play this card after playing a keyword alien adversary and resolving the combat. You may play 1 additional adversary from your hand with the keyword alien or government for 0 cost, ignoring activator requirements.
And which one was that one from? The it was a consequence of something else, right?
Yes, it's Alien Monitor the Project from the Scully set.
Okay.
So I'm going to play a second alien adversary from my hand, ignoring activator requirements and for 0 cost. And I'm going to play Stiletto for Hire, one of the Season 5 adversary. It has the keyword adversary, alien, creature, and master. And each source of damage affecting this adversary in close range combat also causes 1 damage to each opposing agent because of the poisonous blood. And damage may be split among 2 opponents. So that, just like the Rebels strike, this adversary has 0 long range, so you get to inflict your long range damage first, which I think you have 3 long range damage with the 2 remaining agents.
Yes, that's correct.
Right, so they have a health of 8. So they now have a health of 5. And for close range, they deal 6 damage. And they are going to inflict their 6 damage to Langley.
Okay, you don't want to split it?
Well, I could split it, but yeah, I mean, let's
So
do
if you
it.
split 2 on 2.
So let's.
I see. Yeah, 3 and 3. So yeah, you don't really wouldn't make a difference too much. Okay.
Yeah. Well, basically, Langley, yeah, his health is reduced to 0 for this during this round, and Langley and Kingsley deal 2 close range damage, so that puts the Stiletto for Higher health at 3. And for the second round of close range combat, they inflict the 6 damage to Michael Kingsley, sending him to the hospital as well.
Not a good day for our team here.
No. I think you get me down to, I think, 4, so yeah.
I think you're down to 3.
Oh. Oh.
Maybe I may have missed this one. think I got my stuff here.
Right, so all of those cards get sent to the discard pile. And okay. And I have nothing else to play.
Neither do I.
And for debriefing, I have 4 cards in my hand.
I have 5.
All right, so I'm going to draw my free card. I'm going to generate my res, which is 6. And I'm going to purchase 4 cards. Yeah, I'm going to purchase 5 cards and passing it back to you.
I'm going to sell Mattawa, Washington, Seeds of Diversion, Surfing the Net for a total of 7. I'm going to purchase 5 cards.
Okay. So no healing, no requisition. Everyone stays in the field, and we're going to go investigate one site, Fairfax County in Virginia. It's computer or evidence collection, motive or result.
Hmm. Let me see here. You got those guys. Who's the guy next to Pat in there?
So what? Who has the most?
The agent next to Pat. Sorry, I can't.
Yes.
The guy next to her. Who is that?
Ah, it's Brian Fuller from the Scully set.
And what are his things?
So he has 1 criminal, 1 subterfuge, 2 long range, and 2 close range, and he has a health of 3.
And Patton has a health of 3 as well.
Yes.
And what do you need to make this site?
It's computer or evidence collection. 5
So it won't be much of a challenge for you. Okay. We'll have some fun anyway. I'll play 2 bluffs.
Okay, so I'm sending everyone to the site. So I'm going to use computer. So computer 5, and I have 11. So ready for the bluffs.
I'm sorry?
Ready for the bluffs.
Okay. The first bluff. Do you have any mystic cards? It says force an opponent to remove 1 keyword mystic card from the game. And
No.
here I think the word is meant to imply that it only applies to the agents at the site and not globally all the mystic cards in your deck.
Well, no, I have no mystic cards in play, and I don't think I have any in my deck either. Yeah, which one is it? Yeah, the fallen ones.
Okay.
Yeah, so when you play, so yeah, actually, when you play that one, does that mean that it's 1 keyword mystic card in play, or do I have to go through my deck and remove?
I think the intent of the card was to only apply to the agents at the site who had magic cards equipped in weapons. It's just that it's written in a global sense. Yeah.
That is correct. Yes, any keyword mystic card that's that the opposing player has in play at that time.
Makes sense.
So
Yes,
So
so
that was just going to be
the mojo bag, the symbol of faith.
Yeah, and I think there are some of the equipments in season 5 also have that mystic keyword, correct?
yeah, if you have like the breadsticks.
Yeah.
You got
Garlic breadsticks, yeah, very mystical,
And I think there is also one of the events that has that keyword mystic. I think it's the symbol of little box of sand. I think has that mystic.
Oh, a symbol of faith mystic too? Yeah.
And yeah, maybe I don't know about the symbol of protection in season 4. I don't think it does. I actually don't think season 4 has any mystic cards. Now that I think of it, I might be wrong. Well, no. I think Father McHugh might have that keyword in there. I don't have them all committed to memory, but yeah. So to answer the question, yeah, any keyword mystic card that's in play is the intent for that particular one.
Okay.
Can't make any changes to it as Dax decreed previously. He's had the card signed by Emily Perkins, who is featured on the card, and he's like, no changes to it. But to be fair, it's not like Pete Calcagni says play to force your opponent to discard 1 witness resource immediately. That's not saying it is in play, and we interpret like cards like that to be meaning in play.
Yeah, it's understood. It's just that I was having a little fun.
Yeah, no, and it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, there are some very cool mystic cards. It's just like a question of it's like one of those cards. It's a timeliness factor. It may come in handy at the right time, and when it does, it certainly will pack a punch.
But actually, I did have one question. I contemplated putting that card in my deck because the Prince of Darkness adversary says that it is free if played on a site where that specific bluff has been played. So if your opponent does not have any keyword mystic card in play, can you still pay for that bluff? Say, okay, doesn't matter, I'm still paying for it, and then play the Prince of Darkness for free? Or do you actually have, do your opponent actually has to have a mystic card in play in order for you to benefit from the Prince of Darkness being free?
I think when we played it before, it was not necessary to have a target. As a matter of fact, the way the Prince of Darkness is worded, it only has to be attached to the site. It doesn't even have to be played.
Yeah, because I mean, think about like when we play like Warning from the Lower, right, Guillaume? And Warning from the Lower, sometimes your opponent may not have a card in hand that would be affected as a result of that card. So yeah, I think it's fair to say like you can pay for the falling ones, even though your opponent, even though you know that there's not a keyword mystic card on the field. I mean, the difference from Warning from the Loa is that you don't know because it's referring to cards in the opponent's hand. So there's a bit of a chance factor in here. But I like the idea that you can play the card even if there isn't one, and the bluff is, as a result, attached to the site because it was, for one, it was played face down, and then was later played and paid for. So yeah, I think it qualifies, and I like that it gives an added use to this card for which there may not be a whole lot of mystic cards running rampant throughout all of our expansions, but there's still a hidden use for it insofar as it gets the Prince of Darkness on the board. And for what is a cheaper cost? What was it again? I should know, but I don't.
Well, if you just stay tuned for a few moments, we'll see a demonstration.
We'll see a demonstration. Yes, that's what I want to see. All right.
Yeah, and I think I agree, because even if you don't have the Prince of Darkness in your hand, you can still play the Fallen Ones, and your opponent might say, okay, I don't have a mystic card, but if he does play that card, then maybe it's because he has something else coming that maybe I will negate the Fallen Ones. So that might also be a good way to get rid of the Langley token or a Langley card.
There you go. Yeah, that is very strategically sound. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. A good use of that Langley token, right? For which, Guillaume, you don't have one right now at this moment in time.
No, I had to get rid of it during my first turn.
And so it's a good way to burn the Langley token or Langley card, if your opponent happens to be, holding one in their hand. By the way, I forgot to mention with result to Mummified Corpse, there is one particular card that I think would be most impacted by the Mummified Corpse. Guillaume, do you know which card would be most affected by the Mummified Corpse? And I'm asking you specifically for a reason. It's not just because you have a pretty good knowledge of the cards, but I'm pointing at you there's a very specific reason, if that gives a hint at all.
Oh, my agent card.
Your agent card. Exactly. I can't think of any other agent that would be it would be most detrimental than your agent card. So we do a playtest again with our respective agents. I'm using Mummified Corpse.
Yeah.
I was expecting to see her tonight. All right, man. The other bluff is an explosion, and I will spend the money on that. And this card, 2 cards.
Right. So that one, does that inflict
2 points of damage
to every agent on the team? Correct.
Every agent in a team for each conspiracy point card discarded from my hand.
All right, so I'm going to pay 2 to play Langley to negate that bluff.
Yeah, thought you might. And then the other play, which we've telegraphed, is the adversary, Prince of Darkness. Agents must use their subterfuge skill as their value in RCE and CRC. If an agent has no subterfuge, their value is 1. This adversary may use subterfuge cards. This card is free if played on a site to which the fallen ones is attached, or in this case, was.
Yeah. Wow. So I'm going to play Kill Switch to negate that adversary, but we will still work out the combat as for the playtest rules. But yeah, I'm negating the Prince of Darkness.
Yeah, I like the Kill Switch. And,
yeah, and actually, it's actually a card played from on the site from that episode, so that's good.
Okay.
All right, so the Prince of Darkness. So let's.
We don't have to belabor it, I don't think, unless you just want to see how it plays out. Okay.
Yeah. So only agents with a subterfuge skill would be able to use. Oh, so Langley.
If they don't have subterfuge, they get so one. All your agents will have at least 1, and then the ones with a subterfuge skill higher than 1 will have whatever their subterfuge skill is.
All right. So Langley has Frohike has 2. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 6 subterfuge. So. Nice. Enough to kill him during long range, but he still deals 6 long range damage to one of my agents. Okay. All right. But...
And as far as he can't split his damage, so he would take out one of your guys.
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you guys so much for walking through that. I really appreciate it because I think we've maybe seen that card played one time previously. It may have actually been negated.
Yeah, I had played it before, I think.
Yeah.
Or somebody had played against me, I forget.
Yeah, I didn't make a note of how that. Yeah, you did play it in your game with Mike, but I did not write down how it got resolved. So just that it got played. So thanks very much for talking that out. So we saw that the Prince of Darkness, despite going up against a pretty heavy team with subterfuge, actually, it was able to still take out an agent while simultaneously getting owned. So I say, looking at that, and of course, it seemed to me, pretty serviceable adversary. What do you guys think?
I think the adversary types, the only thing I would consider changing would be at the very bottom with the free activation for the fallen ones, because currently the fallen ones just have to be attached to the site. It also uses the word is rather than was.
Was, yeah.
You could say was, but then also maybe rather than attach played. So that would force the guy to go ahead and spend his 1 for the fallen ones in order for it to work, rather than just get it because it was there. I mean, it doesn't matter so much, but
it's situational because you have to obviously get the fallen ones in your hand, and then you also have to get the Prince of Darkness in your hand at the right time. So it's not. I mean, it does rely a little bit on fortune to get those cards in your hand and at the right time. And of course, you have to meet the activator for Prince of Darkness, which is Motive Sight, in order to get to play. So it's not like a clear-cut path. Okay. I mean, there are some obstacles to overcome, but it's still. But I do appreciate you pointing out the is versus was. Guillaume, do you think we need to change that, or what's your feeling on that?
Yeah, I think it's a matter of like sometimes when we play the bluffs, we just, even though they're resolved, we keep them in play until the end of the investigation phase, and sometimes we discard them as they go. So if I were to judge a game and the conspiracy player had discarded the fallen ones, I would still consider that bluff attached to the site. But just to be sure, we could say at a site where the fallen ones has been played.
Or As we did you negate it, by the way?
Yes, I played Kill Switch.
Yeah, it was all negated.
What also makes me wonder now is should the matter that the fact that the fallen ones got negated, does that
Oh, no,
should
I,
the
no,
negation?
I did not. I did not negate the fallen ones. I negated Prince of Darkness.
Oh, I thought. Oh, I thought you used your Langley token for something.
It was because John played Explosion after that.
Oh, explosion. Oh, that's right. That's right. Well, let's say, like, hypothetically, though, do you think using a Langley to negate the falling ones should serve as a disqualifier for the Prince of Darkness effect?
Yes.
So in that case, I think what we might want to do is we might want to rephrase the last sentence in Prince of Darkness to this card is free if played on a site at which the Fallen Ones was successfully played.
Yes. Yes, because if you do negate the fallen ones, thinking that okay, I have no mystic keywords I have no keyword mystic cards in play, but maybe my opponent Prince of Darkness, so I'm going to negate the fallen ones. If you do that and your opponent still gets to play Prince of Darkness, then doesn't seem fair. So yeah, where maybe I say it was successfully played, yes.
Well, okay. Well, now I'm wondering though, does successfully played mean that it was used in the removing of a mystic card, though?
Yeah.
You interpret it that way?
Currently, the way it's worded, has to make it to the site.
Maybe but we cannot. I was going to propose a change to the fallen ones, but we cannot do that. So
we're not changing the fallen ones. Sorry.
Yeah, because I was going to say to discard and to prevent any mystic cards from being played at the site. So that way, that would infer that the bluff remains at the site until the end of the investigation. But okay, well, something to consider. Well, we need to think of.
So yeah, that last bit with the Prince of Darkness is versus was, or played versus attached.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so maybe something to modify there, and because I do think there's merit in using Langley to negate the fallen ones in order to prevent Prince of Darkness to regain and play. I do kind of like that option being on the table. Do you guys think that, like, Guillaume, you already weighed in. John, what do you feel like if Langley can be?
That goes back to Langley's original function, which was to cause it to be discarded, meaning almost like removed from play, which was his original effect. So yeah, if we thought about it in the old days, it's like it would have been discarded before we even saw the card.
Yeah. In which case, yeah, no question that it would not qualify for Prince of Darkness if we use Langley for like the random discard prior to the bluff being revealed and paid for, sure. But well, yeah.
Although I think maybe to me successfully played just means that the card was paid for and it was not negated. Whether or not it had any effect, does that matter?
I guess it's depending on how those reading it want to define the term successfully. But
because if, let's say, when the conspiracy player plays the fallen ones, he already knows if there is or if there isn't a mystic card in play. So it's not like you talked about warning from the Loa, for instance. You can play that. You don't know if there is going to be any result. With mummified corpses, with the fallen ones, you already know. So
So feasibly, we could say that we could modify that last sentence to the Prince of Darkness. This card is free if played on a if played on a site if played on a site. Oh shoot, I had it.
If played on a site where the fallen ones has been successfully played.
or something to that effect. Yes.
I think there must be other bluffs or other adversaries that use that sentence if played at a site where this card has been played or something. I think there is, because
commercially, I don't think so. Season 4, yeah, I probably got creative somewhere, and maybe I might have got creative somewhere along the way.
but just so that we use the same wording as on existing cards that we've
Yeah, I definitely like to. I prefer to to try to find some existing card text so that we can make it more or less on brand. Some of the language that has been used in some of the commercial cards, no question. So we'll sometime between now and having Dax modify all these cards after all the playtesting is done. Yeah, we'll see if we can try to find a language that is that captures the flavor of what the commercially released cards. That captures the flavor of the commercially released cards. Okay, so I'll put a note on that one.
Yeah, I could say something like this card is free on the site where the following ones have been successfully made.
Yeah.
Yeah, successfully. So because we do take because we see the word successfully applied to like when a site is successfully investigated, as a for instance, and we take that to mean like the site skill check was passed, question obviously was asked. So I would take that at the very least it does suggest that the card was played and paid for, but was not hindered as a result of, say, a Langley effect.
Yes, I think in order to say that a card has been successfully played, it's just you've paid for it and it has not been negated. Whether or not it yielded any results, then maybe it's irrelevant. You've played it.
The result is subjective.
Yes. Okay, because
I would say if you play for it and then you're later able to play the Prince of Darkness, I'll call that successful.
Yes.
That's a success. Okay, guys. All right, let's carry on.
I am down to 2 cards.
Okay, and I did not ask my question yet.
Okay.
So it's motive or result. Let's see if there is one that will. Okay, is your motive survival?
The motive is not survival.
No.
Now, on cards like that, do you have to decide going in which you're going to ask, or can you just decide if you're successful? I don't often play the cards have 2.
Okay, well, I'm slowly getting there, but not fast enough. Okay, well, the site is discarded, and I have 7 cards in my hand, so your turn.
Okay. I will draw my 3 card. I don't think the guy is great res in the hospital.
No.
I didn't play a special card that allows him to do that, where we have Scully at bedside.
Yes. Bedside vigil, I think.
Bedside Scully.
Yeah.
Or Scully in the bed. All right. So we'll look at healing.
Oh, hold on. I have to.
Go ahead, do your thing.
I'm going to sell Father McHugh, who does have the keyword Mystic, and the garlic breadsticks, which also has the keyword Mystic, for a total of 6. Puts me at 13, and I'm going to purchase 3 cards. and back to you.
Okay. Healing. Everybody's at 0. Everybody's going to gain at least 1. One health back. And then we have our Dr. Zuckerman. Can heal 1 additional point of damage. Or remove a game effect token, remove an affiliated keyword. Do these guys still have sort of deductive keyword on them?
Yes, both 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 and Langley have the abductee keyword.
Okay. We can remember that, I think. I'm sure you'll remember that.
Yeah. So the dice says 1, so
That's they've currently each healed 1 point. They have 1 point of life or whatever. They were row. They've
But
all healed 1.
don't they all have a health of 4 or 5, so they heal 2 points.
Okay. Sorry. 2. Yeah. They heal, and then this guy gets to do the 1 additional.
So yeah, they should all have a health of 2, and since I think it's Langley who has a health of 5, so actually since he heals 2, he should have a health of 3 now.
Hey, Octave. Thanks for the cheers. I'm sorry I'm not on the comment section. I couldn't get logged
Okay,
in.
yeah.
Okay. I thought the regular guys healed back 1, and the guys with more than 3 healed.
Actually, I always do it the other way around. Like I put 4 damage tokens or 5 damage tokens on them, and then I heal. I remove 2 during or 1 during each healing phase.
Okay, I'm thinking about it backwards.
Yeah,
where they're starting at 0 and going back up.
No, I think either way is fine.
So you're thinking of damage tokens, not treating like healing tokens. But I think you're right. I think the game specifies damage tokens. So I'm probably doing it backwards. In which case,
well, for all of them, either way you look at it, they all have 2 health or 2 damage tokens left. And Langley either has 3 damage tokens left, or he has a health of 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then somebody gets a bonus from the doctor.
Yeah. So I think if you play the command on Langley, he will have a health of, well, he will only have 2 damage tokens left, so his health will be 5 minus 2, so that's 3, and I think he should be able to leave the hospital this turn. Although with 2 damage tokens left, but I think you can still deploy him out of the hospital this turn. Yes, only agents with the current health rating of 3 or higher are allowed to leave the hospital. So Langley had 5 damage, he healed 2, 1 extra for the command, so he can leave the hospital if you want to.
Okay.
And Steven can correct me if I'm wrong, because I always have to check the rule book to see which agent heal 1 and which agents heal 2.
Yeah, and I fortunately have not had enough people in the hospital to be really familiar with the scenario getting back to health.
In the case of both of these two agents in the hospital, John's going to be healing 2 health for each of them.
Yes.
Because it's agents with a health 4 or more, in which case both of these guys have like 4 and 5 health.
Yes.
In those cases, you're healing 2 points of damage each healing phase.
Yes, and since
it's only when it's like when it's 3 or less, like Hostein's got 3, Chuck Burke has 3, then it's 1 point of damage per healing phase.
So for Langley, it gets rounded up.
Yeah,
No,
if it's 4 or 5, you heal 2 points of damage.
So I think we did it correctly.
So
they each healed 2 points of damage. Langley also healed 2 and an extra 1 for Zuckerman. So that's 3.
Oh, yeah, Zuckerman. Yeah. How many Zuckerman?
Extra 1 for the what? The doctor, right?
Yes.
Zuckerman. Yeah.
Yes.
So he's at 3 then.
Yes.
Not 4.
So Langley now has a health of 3. So he can
Which means he can leave the hospital during deployment.
But you look at it as he comes out with 2 damage tokens. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm thinking
his arm's in a sling, but he can still investigate.
Okay. So our token should reflect damage rather than health.
Yeah.
Is that per the rule book?
It's whatever's comfortable. The rule book tends to say like pennies represent damage. But if you're using dice, is that what you're using? Dice?
Yeah.
Yeah, the dice are red. You might take that to mean like points of damage, or you could refer it to like the number reflected on the dice overrides whatever the agent's health value is on the card, which in Langley's case is 5. So it's up to you. When you're using dice, you might want to use it to do points of damage because I don't think that dice has a 0, right? No. So then when you initially take them to the hospital, you can't set the dice to 0, which is what they
I don't put the dice on.
Yeah. So I would if you want to say if you want to use
I get it now. As long as I get it in my brain, it'll be okay.
Yeah. However you want to keep track of it. But that's a good question. I've never used dice to reflect agents' health. I just put I just put like damage tokens on them. So in Langley's case, I would put 5 of these on them, and I just move them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, a little bit of math involved, but not much, thank goodness, because then I would be struggling with the game.
All right, so he's back. Langley's alive, at least half alive, with 2 damage. So that's the end of my healing. I did not generate any income. I can't pay for any sites, but you still get a turn to do something if you want.
No cards to play. But I need to discard something because I have 8 cards. So.
Yeah, normally I try to get a site out there, but it's not happening.
Yeah, I'm going to. Well, okay. I want to do that. Okay, I'm going to discard first aid, and I now have 7 cards. So I'm going to draw my free card. I'm going to generate my 6 res, 12. And I'm going to buy 2 cards.
While you're working on your master plan, I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick.
Yeah, sure. I'll buy 2 cards.
Excellent. So, although haven't seen as many season 5 cards as we have in previous playtests, because in the first half of this game, I was like, wow, we're just seeing a lot of commercial cards going on here. That's okay, because what we have uncovered tonight, though, Guillaume, is like some significant changes that we need to make to 2 cards as of this point. So just to recap for anyone who might be tuning in, thank you, Octavian, for joining us. So Mummified Corpse is obviously going to get a significant revision. So those of you playtesting, stand by for updates on that, because we'll undoubtedly at least want to give the modified effect a stress test. So that one I'm going to really have to just do some brainstorming, which I haven't done in a little bit because, once this expansion wrapped up, I was, more or less clicked off that part of my brain, but we'll turn it back on for a moment. Heck, depending on how things go with the wrong build-in card for the Blackwood card, I may just take my preferred version of that effect and apply it here. No, I'm just kidding. But the idea behind that one was obviously to affect the expenditure cards or agents with the Premier, or agents from the Premier Edition with the RP attached to them as their starting effect. So that one's going to get modified, and we're gonna amend the last sentence in the Prince of Darkness adversary to discard free if played at a site at which the Fallen Ones was successfully played.
Yes.
So those are the changes that we've uncovered for tonight, which are pretty good, which are pretty significant, especially with regards to the to the Mummified Corpse, because it seems like that one is way off base from what I initially planned. Okay, and Guillaume, I also want to give you a belated praise for how you played that round with the 2 alien adversaries. Holy cow. John, I felt bad for you, especially after
at some point I was like, I don't know what he's doing, but I'm getting hammered.
And not to mention, like, you used 4 cards to engineer that. You first had to play the Skyland Mountain card, or you first had to play the Skyland Massacre card in order to get the keyword abductee in there. Then you had to play the Rebel Strike, which was able to successfully get 1 agent out of play, and then you used a Scully set card, the Aliens Monitor the Project, to engineer it so that the Stiletto for Hire is going to be able to swoop in there as well. So it was a double whammy, unfortunately, for John, but it was a damn good use of cards to get those adversaries out there, and at a reasonable cost too.
I had to save some of those cards. I had some of those cards in my hand for several turns, and I was waiting until I had Skyline Mountain and Skyline Mountain Massacre and the Rebel Strikes. I had that in my hand, and then I drew the second alien adversary, and it was just I was waiting to be able to draw the Alien Monitor the Projects, which I think I have 2 copies of because I really wanted to try to pull that one off. But I also had to be careful about Frohiki because he still has his token, so I did not want him to negate the Alien Monitor the Project cards.
Yes.
Yeah.
But heck of a play. I mean, it was just like a combo, like a double dose of combo effects. And again, the results really paid off. So bravo on that. Very clever on your part. I'm going to head back and let you guys carry on. Guillaume, on the downside, though, your guesswork has been just way off base tonight, unfortunately. John, you got the affiliation pretty quick. Just ever since then, it's just been like Guillaume, you're just trying to whittle it down as much as possible.
Like 5 questions and not a yes answer. Yeah, happens. I drew my 2 cards. I bought 2 cards and I drew them. So it's now you get to sell and buy.
Sure. I think the sunflower seeds will go bye-bye. We're good for 4. And I will buy 4 cards.
Okay. Okay, so no healing, no requisition. Everyone stays in the field, and we are going to the Metro Diner in Washington, D.C. It's Computer 4 Plus and Result. That's the only site I'm going to play this turn, and I'm going to pay 2 for it. So Computer and Result.
I'll have 1 bluff to play.
Okay, so I'm sending the whole team to the site, Computer 4 Plus, and like the other turns, I have 11 Computer. So let's see the bluff.
We're looking at our friend 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬. It costs you 1. Play to cause your opponent to discard 2 cards at random from his hand immediately.
Oh, that sucks. Well, I'm for. No, I don't need those cards. I'm going to play Grid Balancer for 2, and I'm going to play Langley for 2 as well. Yeah. Are there any other cards that you'd like to play?
So you played the Langley?
Yes, I played the
And
Langley.
he
And
goes away. All right, so now we're moving on to the next phase. And we'll take that a free run at it.
Okay. So it's a result question. Is your result physiological imbalance?
I'm sorry?
Is your result physiological imbalance?
It is not.
No, of course it's not. Okay.
You probably have it narrowed down to half a dozen by now.
Well, I have you down to 5.
Okay, it's about to get right then. Not bad.
Yeah. Okay, so the site is discarded, and
I have 5 cards left.
and I have 8 cards. I'm going to count this. Yeah, okay. I'm going to. Oh, I had to do this. I'm going to discard Esther Nerm, aka Invitigoth, and I now have 7 cards, and I'm passing it to you.
All right, I'll draw my 1 card. Do you wish to blight me again? Not that it would matter if it's throw on the hospital almost, except for Langley.
Yeah.
I'll get 2 resource points for him. Buy me a site. And let's see, it goes over to you, then it comes back to me for healing. Or do I do the healing first?
No, it's I get to sell and buy, and
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to sell the 2-lux video camera for 5 and the Rashomon effect for 3. That's a total of 8. And I'm going to purchase. I'm going to purchase 3 cards. And hold on, 2, 3. Okay. And before we move to your healing phase, I'm going to play Bridge of Size. Agents in all sections of the table with the keyword abductee are placed 10 cards down, face up, in your player's bureau deck. Any attached cards are discarded. When each agent card reaches the top of the deck, the agent is immediately moved to the hospital with 1 token of damage. So that one costs 6.
And I assume we said all sections, so agents in the hospital were affected as well.
Yes.
Okay. They lose their attachments.
Yes, any attached cards are discarded.
Okay. And they lose
They also lose their damage tokens. Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They go 9 on top or 10 on top?
10 on top.
10 on top. Okay.
Well, I think so. Yeah, I think it's 10 on top. And yeah.
Okay. Done.
Okay.
Brutal. Did you do your buy sell? You got your
yeah,
buy
I did buy, I did sell, and
okay.
And I wanted to play that card before your healing phase because I knew that I had to play it before Foriki made it out of the hospital. Otherwise, you would have been able to use this token to negate the card.
Good thinking. All right, these guys are back to health.
Yes.
They'll heal their 2, come back out. Yay. Hey, where'd everybody go? It's like a rapture while they were in the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
This place is empty, man.
But I think they're together, and that's the most important thing for them. I think they're each other's favorite person, so.
All right, we are going to go to a site here. See if I have any to actually go to. All right, my old friend, Newark, New Jersey. It's going to cost me, let's see, evidence collection. So I should have a token on one of these guys. Oh, let's see here. That's one of those CP. That's not it. This one.
Yes, she should have one, yes.
Yeah, this one's still good for evidence collection. So, okay. So I'll use that. Will that be enough? That's right, because I did use, Langley did generate. Okay. Right?
So how many resources did you have?
I'm trying to think. Langley would have generated, right?
Langley generated 2 res, so you have 2 res
Yeah.
in your pool.
And And
plus
then,
the one, yeah.
then I had this one. So
Yeah, so you should have one res left.
yes. All right. I forgot to take that one out. All right. Very good.
Okay, so I have one bluff for that side.
How special.
Yeah.
Oh no. Well, we're gonna go anyway. Just see what happens. La 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 la. They're investigating with their evidence collection of 4 at a 4+ site with a method question.
All right, so the bluff is no trespassing. Play this card to prevent all agents with the keyword FBI from contributing to any skill checks occurring at this site. It costs 3, but 2 since it was face down.
And you're enjoying that one?
Yeah, I paid for it, yeah. And
Okay. And these guys are both FBI agents,
yeah.
so they were unable to explore the wilds of Newark, New Jersey. Looks like they even got a fence there in front of them. Looks like a fence. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the sewage treatment plant, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should keep them going. They're not going there anyway. All right, that's discarded. An unsuccessful investigation. I have 5 cards left. Back to you.
I have 6. So I'm drawing my free card. I'm going to generate my 6 res. Puts me at 10.
Okay, before we started now, I'm going to make noises and pretend I can do something. And nope. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, okay. Well, I did add it. So, and I'm going to purchase 2 cards. Yeah, I'm going to buy 2 cards and passing it to you. To sell and buy.
Yes, I am going to. Sell my computer site and my wooden stake. For a total of 5. And we're going to buy 3 cards. And for you.
Okay. So you have 4 conspiracy points, correct? Or
Correct.
5? Okay, 4. Okay.
4
No healing,
CT, 1 RP.
no healing, no requisition. I'm going to stay in the field, and you are going to go investigate the Mahan Propulsion Laboratory in Carson, Washington. No surprise, it's computer and it's motive, and it costs 2.
Oh, no drama. Give you a free ride.
Okay, so it's a motive question. Is your motive control?
It is not.
Shockingly. So So I have you down to 3. Okay. Okay. Well, the site is discarded, and I have 8 cards in my hand. I'm going to discard Summoned by the Stars, and I have 7 cards, and I'm passing it to you.
Okay. I get to play, right? All right. So let's pull this back here out of the hospital area. Going to generate red. I'll draw. And we're going to generate some res. Because they're together, they'll get a total of 3. And it will go.
All right, so I'm going to sell the command for 4, throw hit key for 3, and stunning blow for 2. So that's a total of 9. Puts me at 16. And I'm going to purchase 6 cards. And
Nice.
back to you. Okay, I'm good.
All right. We do have a. I forgot to give this guy 5 per token, which I might need again. We're going to go to the Museum of Natural History in Boston, Massachusetts. Evidence for us. And I get to ask a method question. Spend 1 token and 1 RP.
So evidence and method, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Evidence collection and method.
I have I have 3 bluffs for that site.
3.
Yes.
How bad do I want it? Hmm. Just because, let's see. Who's your best guy over there?
In my team?
Yes.
Well, it depends on for which skill.
You need somebody who has some evidence collecting, but also some combat here. Let's see.
Well,
Probably 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬, maybe?
𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 has 2 evidence collection, as do the 2 gunmen, and he has the most combat.
Yeah, let's requisition him for application for FBI resources approved. Other than event card.
Okay.
I'll see if I can find 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 on my side. He's going to join the party. Bluff away.
All right, so, well, the first bluff was armed robbery, but you have no resource effect, so I'm not paying. Well, I'm not paying for it. And the other bluffs were true bluffs.
Okay.
It was the Dark Angel and Welcome to Hackland. So they were all going to. I knew that I would have to discard some cards during the debriefing phase, so I figured I might as well try to scare you off the site.
Well, you got me thinking. You decided not to get reinforcements.
Yeah. All right. So.
And it is a
I'm
methods
going
site.
I'm going to play card troubles for 3.
Okay.
Play on a team of 3 or more agents. Well, now there are 3 of them. Moving to the site. The team only send 2 agents. Your choice. Actually, I have a question. So doesn't matter because you're not going to be able to. You're not going to be able to negate the bluff. But I have 2 bluffs, and I'm unsure of the order in which I'm supposed to play them. Because the idea is I also have instant message from beyond, which play to increase the side requisite by 1 point for each agent on the team that has a computer skill value. So I would not have been able to play that card before, but 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 has a computer skill value, so I could play instant message from beyond to increase the skill check to 5. So far, correct. But I also want to play card troubles to force John to only send 2 agents to the site. But if I play card troubles first and John does not send 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 to the site, then I cannot play instant message from beyond. But if I play instant message from beyond first, can I then play card troubles? Because card troubles says play on a team of 3 moving to the same site. So should card troubles be played first, no matter which bluffs come after?
Because
these are bluffs that we play, so they are bluffs that you get to decide the order of.
Yeah, All the more reason why I like playing the bluffs one at a time, as opposed to when the rules say just play them all at once.
Because I would not want my opponent to say, well, you've benefited from all three of them being at the site and all three of them, and then card troubles where it's too late for card troubles because they already moved to the site and they are already there. So I don't know.
See, I would say that because like Instant Message from Beyond says that you're increasing the site prerequisite by 1 for each agent on the team that has a computer skill value. So I don't so I get the way I read card troubles is it's removing the agents from the team, like they're not part of it, right?
Actually, card troubles says the agents remain on the team, but they may not contribute.
Okay, then never mind.
Yeah, so
they're still on the team, so yeah, you can still.
So card troubles.
All right, I take it back.
So I paid 3 for card troubles.
No.
So you can only send 2 agents, and well, might as well play it now. I'm paying 3 for Instant Message from Beyond. So the skill check
on that card. There is so much text on card troubles. Yeah. All right, but now we know our answer though. All right, cool. Carry on.
Yes, and since I can only send 2, and any combination thereof is 4, which is less than 5, the investigation will fail unless I have some magic card.
All right. Whew.
Hey, Guillaume, well, you have Instant Message from Beyond up. I have made a note on 2 words on there. That has. Did I tell you what my plan for that? Because now I'm looking back at my notes and I realize I made a mark on the card to fix it, but I don't know specifically what was my change for that.
Yeah, so play to increase the site prerequisite by 1 point for each agent on the team that has a computer skill value.
And for some reason, I noted that the phrase "that has." Am I changing that? Did I tell you why, or did I?
No, that doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah, because I made a mark, but then I didn't write down what it was. I think I was going to say each agent on the team with.
Yeah,
maybe that's probably what it was.
Yeah,
because I think that that's probably what I'll just write that down unless I think of some other reason. But I can't give anything else beyond that. Each agent on the team with computer skill, that sounds better, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. That's probably what it was. Okay, thanks.
All right, so 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 returns to my field.
Yes.
Then okay.
Unharmed.
Yes, thankfully. And
I was hoping to have a inter-visitation luncheon with him, but I didn't have enough to spring for the tea and cookies.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one to have. So I have 5 cards in my hand.
I am down to 5 as well.
All right, so I'm drawing my free card. I'm going to generate my res. And I'm going to buy 3 cards and passing it to you.
I really wanted to blight you, but I was asleep at the wheel over here.
Oh, thank God.
I'm going to sell. My grid pattern search for 2. And I will buy 2 cards with it.
Okay. No healing, no requisition. Everyone stays in the field. For case assignment, we're going to Arecibo, Puerto Rico, alien investigation or computer, affiliation or method. And you're also going to Fairfax County, computer or evidence collection, motive or result. So each side costs 1, so I'm paying 2. So the first one is alien investigation or computer, affiliation method. And the second one is computer or evidence collection, motive or result.
All right, I'll put a bluff on the second one you mentioned.
Okay, so the one with computer, evidence collection, motive, and result.
Yes.
Token on that one. Okay, so let's see. So I'm sending Langley and Holly Patton to Puerto Rico, and the other 3 agents are going to Fairfax County. And we'll start the investigation at Fairfax County. Let's see the bluff.
That's the site with the bluff?
Yes.
Okay. It's a true bluff. It's just a site.
All right. So are there any other cards that you'd like to play at this site?
There are not.
All right. So it was computer 5+, and I have 5 computer. So it's motive or result. Is your motive knowledge?
It is not.
So are you the Gregors?
I am.
And Guillaume, hard-fought match,
Yeah.
but you still prevailed, even with all those no responses that John was lobbing at you. But nevertheless, John, kudos for putting up a good fight. And, of course, great job on both of you for putting a lot of these cards to the test. And we'll recap most played cards for this matchup. Each of you used Langley and Frohickey on your team. And I really appreciate that because out of all the cards comprising this set, I really am most interested in making sure that the 3 Lone Gunman agent cards are serviceable and proper additions to our expanded universe of X-Files CCG cards. So most important that we put those cards through the ringer and make sure that we make the proper modifications to them. Each of you, I guess each of you used your respective Frohickey and Langley tokens on your agent cards tonight.
I don't think I used my Frohickey. I think I had my Frohickey.
Yeah, and I still had my Frohickey as well.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I would have. I was like, maybe using Frohickey on that Blight card might have come in handy earlier.
Well, once I ended up in the hospital.
Oh, he wasn't. That's right. That's right. He was in
I was pretty much in the water and then just floundering about.
In addition to Frohickey and Langley as most played cards, Fairfax County, Virginia was used twice tonight, both on Guillaume's end. So you're leaning heavy on the computer sites as well. So with respects to changes, again, we're going to be making some serious modifications to the mummified corpse. Prince of Darkness is getting some slight adjustment to the final sentence. And as I mentioned, I'm going to just make a slight word change on instant message from beyond. Gentlemen, are any cards in your decks that didn't get played tonight that you wanted to address?
Well, I had these blights in my hand, but no. Let me see what I got in my deck.
Can never have too many blights.
He had some good subterfuge. The security checkpoint didn't really play out.
Yeah. I mean, if anyone can get past the security checkpoint, it's certainly Krychek.
Yeah.
No,
A lot of my cards that were designed to kind of slow him down didn't happen for me.
And so, John, did you want to take a guess at what X-File might have been hiding Guillaume's map there?
I hadn't gotten to 3 forever. Let's see. I really thought it was going to be central operating system, but that one didn't pan out. So let's go with the host.
No, I was Eve 7.
Eve this time.
Just Eve,
okay.
yeah.
Not the Gen Con. Oh, no, you don't have Gen Con Eve. You have Arctic Worm Gen Con.
I do have the Gen Con Eve.
You do have Gen Con Eve, but that wasn't it, though, right?
No.
No, maybe next time, though. Okay, so it looks like, yeah, it was a pretty successful playtest in that, yeah, we found a couple of serious changes that are going to be made. And once again, I'll make sure you guys are aware of what changes come about once, because one of them's going to definitely be a serious brainstorm. So I also, again, want to thank you guys for devoting your time, which again, just over 3 hours to do this playtest, which has been pretty much par for the course, because it really does take a bit of time to sometimes work through some of these effects that, you know, we want to make sure that they are right. So again, guys, I cannot thank you enough, especially John. You have now availed yourself for 3 consecutive playtests. That's a total of 9. That's over 9 hours of your time that you have devoted to this. So I seriously, I cannot thank you enough. That's been such a big help. And in the last three games the last 3 playtests we've done, we have at least 1, 2, 4, 5 changes that we have uncovered as a result of those playtests. So bravo, sir. And Guillaume, yeah, this is your second or third one, but nevertheless.
It's also my third, yeah. I did the first 2 and then this one, so yeah, it's also my third.
And I can't say enough about the amount of feedback that I get from you behind the scenes as well. And but I mean, I can't even begin to express my gratitude on that, because you and I have collectively worked through nearly every card at least once, if not multiple times, trying to make sure that these effects are sound. And that's not just with respect to this expansion. It has been with the previous Season 4 expansion. It's been with the 42 cards currently comprising the Delaney set that I showed at the beginning of this game, which, again, I got to thank Dax for taking the time to make those cards.
Yeah, they're really cute.
What,
great. I said they're really cute.
Yeah,
great little cards.
Yeah, they are so much fun. I can't wait to try them out. So Guillaume, yeah, get your cards ready. I know you've got a set of them, and I noticed you had said you're available like the weekend of like November 8th, 9th. I'm actually like off all day that Friday, so maybe you and I can get a game going with that, or at least to get another play test in for sure. I'm definitely looking at November 8th, that weekend, to maybe get 1 or 2 play tests in. So other play testers, we've got 10. You guys, I hope you guys got some time in your calendar for that weekend, because I think that'll be a great time to knock out a few games. So let's do it. Let's keep them coming. We've got 5 play tests down. They've been very fruitful, and I want to see what else we can uncover with this set. I think, yeah, we want to get maybe another 10 playtests in minimum, because each time we're uncovering a few changes that are proving to be quite vital to the set. So let's do more. Reach out to me. You guys know where to find me. You can let me know when you're available, and we can try to get some more games scheduled. let's see. So make sure if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, everyone, please do so. It's a big help. Goes a long way. Hit that like button. Throw some comments up there if you want to inquire about some of these cards. And if you do want to get your hands on some fan-made cards, again, I suggest reaching out to our dear leader, Dax Golding, who is, you can't say enough about him. I mean, we would not be doing this if it wasn't for the lovely cards that he has been able to craft for us. So you can reach out to him if you want to get your hands on some of these cards yourselves. So, Guillaume, I told you that brick of cards that I opened, it wasn't just cards from the Delaney set, it was also the proxies that Dax has been working hard on for some of the rares, the ultra rares, from the premiere stuff. So he sent me those to review, because I know some of you who may not have enough deep throats on hand or enough Nurse Owenses to sell for CP. Those of you that are waiting to get your hands on some of these proxy cards.
Not to use for tokens, but to sell for CP.
Yeah, to say nothing about her effect, because I mean, gosh, 6 CP is pretty sweet when it comes around to being the conspiracy player. But yeah, so Dax sent me a stack of those proxies, so I'll look those over. I was looking over a little bit of them while you guys were playing, so I've got a few small changes to let Dax aware of, and so I don't think it'll be too long before he'll be making those proxies available for anyone who is short on ultra rares or promos and wants a chance to use them in gameplay while not having to pull that very delicate copy from your master set. So be on the lookout for Dax to announce that those are going to be available very soon. And
Are you going to give us a preview of them tonight?
What's that?
You going to give us a preview of them tonight?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was gonna say that for a second episode, like a follow-up episode, because we had so much with the Delaney set. I can pull it up right now. Yeah, I'm sure actually Dax would probably appreciate it too. Sorry, I just put them away.
I just kind of curious how they turned it out.
Yeah,
It looked awesome. What I saw online.
Yeah, there's some fun stuff in here actually. I thought you guys, I don't know if he showed everyone in Discord some of the things he added, but let me pull them out here. Okay, so let me bring my screen up to the main. There we go. All right, so we have firstly the Agent Henderson promo, which is going to be a big help for me specifically because I only have 2 copies of Henderson, so it would be nice to have this one on hand for gameplay.
Actually, I think I like that picture better than the one on the official card.
Yeah,
which is too much of a close-up on the original card.
I know Nathan, if you're watching, I know you will certainly appreciate another copy on this because I think it was your son who may have not been as delicate with your copy of Henderson, so I know you'll appreciate that one. We have Samuel Hartley, a rare killer card. We have Deep Throat, which I gotta say I really do like this image from the Erlenmeyer Flask. I think it was a great change, and of course the Erlenmeyer Flask being my favorite episode of season 1. I really liked this inclusion in there. The column on the side there is this side is just fantastic. Great vista. And this one I especially appreciate, Dax, so bravo on this. I don't think he's gonna make it available. I don't know. We'll see. Let me pull the other one. I don't know if he's going to make both of these available or not, but we have 2 iterations of X here. And the one featuring Stephen Williams is from Talitha Kumi, the season finale of season 3. While this one, little known fact from X-Files lore is that
she's the original one.
She was originally cast to play the character of X in the episode Sleepless in season 2. So they did actually film the scene with Mulder in that stadium that was under construction. So she was in that first scene where Mulder met X. And then what happened is that they later recast the role to Stephen Williams, and Stephen Williams shot that role in the stadium, but he did not. Mulder wasn't actually there. If you watch the episode, you actually see her silhouette in that scene where Mulder is talking to what appears to be X, but it's actually her. So they just, did some clever editing to insert Stephen Williams into that scene. So,
Did she
I can't
play
remember
anything else later on in the X-Files? Was that
What's
this
that?
actress's only role?
It was her only role in the X-Files, so it was obviously an unsung role because her entire scene was cut and was replaced with Stephen Williams, and so she's more of a footnote in X-Files history. I'm pretty sure Dax is going to make this one available when he's all done with the set of proxies. I would guess, unless maybe he'll make it dealer's choice. So you tell him you want one or both, but either way, the effect is the same. Negates one adversary card. Pretty cool, Dax. That was clever. I don't even think maybe he showed me that and I forgot about it, but I think that was pretty fun to see. We have One Breath, which is a proxy for the ultra rare One Breath card that allows you to dig through your bureau deck for an event. We have counterintelligence measures featuring the back of Senator Matheson.
Yeah.
Have Nurse
You
Owens.
make it sound like that's a questionable choice.
No, I'm just describing the scene. So not a questionable choice. I think it makes sense. But yeah, Nurse Owens from also the episode One Breath. Dana Scully Abducted, which I really think this was a great choice. Dax from the Irresistible episode.
Well, there were plenty of scenes to choose from because she gets abducted like I don't know how many times, but I think that specific episode is great and that specific shot is perfect.
Yeah, could have gone with like Unruhe or.
And it's also reminiscent of the original one
yes.
because she also has her gag in her mouth.
Exactly. Skinner chooses a side, which is a scene, a moment just slightly later than the one on the commercially released card. But I actually kind of like this shot better than the one in the Premier Edition card. Actually, I think it's better. The gun makes it a little more menacing. And we also have the Deny Everything promo here with the scene from Paperclip featuring the Syndicate. And from the Pusher episode, we have Unexpected Call featuring Frank Burst. So I did not know he was going to go with this image, but it fits. It fits very well.
I think for Unexpected Call, you could almost do a perfect recreation of the original one with the scene Fight the Future when the manicured man gets a phone call, and it's actually almost an identical shot as the one from the original card.
Yeah. And again, I really like this one. This is the ultra rare cool Men in Black card from 1013 edition, or I'm sorry, 1013 expansion, where Dax replaced the image of Jesse Ventura with the late Alex Trebek. So great use of that, and may he rest in peace. Good old Alex, we miss you. We miss you, my man. And from Unusual Suspects, we have Frohickey. So we have a proxy for the Frohickey card. You guys could have been using that one tonight in your decks, but maybe next time. We have Blue Plate Special, which clever use. We have the waitress from the Postmodern Prometheus episode. And you guys have already seen this one. Dax posted in Discord earlier. The Voyager promo, Infected That You Might Believe. He swapped out the image from Gethsemane for this one featuring Marita in the red and the black. And we get into season 6 with the Calling Us More Often Voyager promo, which replaced the scene from Apocrypha with this one from Three of a Kind. Good image. And from season 7, we have Good Fortune, which was previously representing the Clyde Brookman Final Repose episode, but here it is using the a scene from the Goldberg variation. and I think Dax made this one a while ago, but assigned to the X-Files, which is the commercially released version, pulls a shot from the pilot episode, but here it's from the season 8 opener Within, in which Agent Doggett is soon to be assigned to the X-Files.
Oh well, there is a season 1. There is a season 8 card that uses that almost exact shot, so we'll have to find maybe a slightly different moment in that scene. Yeah,
maybe where she throws the water in his face or something like that. And now we have the Lone Gunman Ultra Rare card from the Premier Edition. In this case, Dax used a promo still for the Lone Gunman spinoff, which is a really great shot of the three Watchdog Watchdog journalists. And we have finally the shotgun from the episode Shapes, which Dax also used an image from the episode Shapes featuring Charlie Toscani. So those are the proxies that he's currently constructed as of this point. And as I said, you should expect to see those available to order from Dax pretty soon. But if you're wanting to stay up to speed on that, make sure you join our Discord group because that's where really the updates come in. Like you're sure to get the latest updates there more than anywhere else, and the links to that again, description below. So I think, gentlemen, it's about time to wrap it up because
I had just one final question or suggestion, just about Langley and Frohike. Maybe just something to think about. Just usually we use agents game effect even when not actually investigating at the site that is being investigated. For instance, if Burke is at the first, Charles Burke is at the first site and an occult adversary is played on the second site, we sometimes remove Burke's token to negate the adversary that is played at a different site. I think for the gunman, this could be maybe problematic, because if Langley is at one site and you use his token to negate a bluff that is played at the second site, maybe it might be worth it for Langley and for Hickey to say that they actually have to be at the site that the bluff or the event is being played in order to negate the bluff. They cannot negate something from the bureau or from the site. So maybe if we have written the card and if find a good way to phrase that, it could be also something that could balance their effect. Because basically you're like, no matter where they are in the field or in the bureau, you know that your opponent is going to be able to negate.
Yeah. Now, with Frohike's effect, it says one event card played on your team. Do you think that would be taken to mean a team including Frohike?
I think for Frohike, it's less problematic because we've seen it tonight. None of us use his token, but I think for Langley, where a bluff has to be played at a site, I think it would make sense that Langley has to be at that site in order to. And also, I think bluffs are the most commonly played conspiracy cards, so we have to be extra careful with Langley. I think he's. Of the three of them, well, we know bias is not an issue, but out of Langley and Frohike, Langley is the more problematic one, or has the potential to be the most powerful one.
Sure. So maybe we would potentially look at saying place one token on this card, remove a token to discard one bluff attached to a site that Langley is investigating or something.
Or Langley's team is investigating that way.
That Langley's team is investigating. Okay, yeah, sure. We know we're going to be making some changes to them undoubtedly because there is a certain concern about the gunmen's, especially Langley and Frohike's effects being too powerful, although they are 6 RP agents. So it stands to reason that they would have a fairly detrimental effect. Or a fairly worthwhile effect, let's say. But it is a bit of a balancing act too, in that because they have respective event cards that do the same effect. We just don't want to we don't want to see that the negate effect becomes a bit too saturated in the course of the game, where there's just constantly events and bluffs getting negated right or left, because each player has 2 copies of Langley in their deck, 2 copies of Frohick in their deck, along with a couple no ones so paranoids, and then it's using calling us more often to dig one of them out, and then
some breed Baron Search
to get them out of the discard pile. And so, I mean, hey, it makes for a pretty strong deck, but at the same time, still want to make sure that we're creating a serviceable expansion with cards that aren't necessarily designed to, or that aren't necessarily breaking the game, and because we don't want that to happen. So that's a good idea, Guillaume. Yeah, we don't see that happen terribly often, where agents at other sites use their effects to help out another team. I think maybe I might have done that with Manners from time to time. I could probably see it. I probably have done that with Manners.
At the beginning of this game, it occurred. Yeah.
To me, it doesn't seem like it very faithful to use Chuck Burke to negate an adversary at a different site. And I mean, I can't say you can't do it, but it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel.
Yeah, the card does not prevent it, and nothing in the rule book prevents it either. So with Burke, there is nothing we can do, but for the gunman, we can try to counter that.
Exactly. So yeah, we can make that specification here. So that, again, it is a nice way to just somewhat limit these effects. So maybe when all said and done, then that those little bit of limiters don't make the card feel too overpowered. So thank you for throwing that out. John, did you have any thoughts on any of the cards?
Not at this time. I have nothing. I know we had a little bit of a chat about the Langley and the Vicky, but one of the things I almost have to live with them for a while and see how they play, which is the advantage of play testing. So nothing right now. Could be my brain's a little tired.
I was about to say, because it is 3 a.m. for you, John, so I really don't want to keep you up any later than necessary. So we're going to shut
I'm here voluntarily.
Again, and I can't thank you enough for that too. So again, guys, great job, and let's get some more in. So when your schedules allow for it, we got holidays coming up pretty soon. It just seems like they're right around the corner. Excuse me, but for now, we're going to shut the door to this X-Files office. But I want to thank everyone for tuning in. And again, be sure to tune in next time for another edition of Alien Investigations. Good night, everyone.
Peace out.
End stream.